Another county in Oregon has voted to secede from their state, making now a dozen counties rising up and rebelling against imploding woke Portland. And they're hardly the last. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, and we're going to see an amazing movement of patriots that's taking their state by storm, and it has their woke liberal politicians petrified. You're going to absolutely love this. These are scenes from the city of Portland, Oregon, the very definition of a city in decline. Public drug abuse, addicts passed out on the sidewalks or wandering the streets, homeless tent encampments litter many of the street corners, rampant mental illness. Once considered one of the most beautiful and livable cities in the entire nation, Portland, through years of liberal Democrat rule, has become nothing less than an open-air insane asylum, and counties surrounding the city have begun to openly rebel against this insane liberal lawlessness and take matters into their own hands. On Tuesday of this week, residents of Wauwatosa County in eastern Oregon came out en masse and voted to become the 12th Oregon county to secede from the state and join their neighboring red state, Idaho, which is now being dubbed the Greater Idaho Movement. 12 counties and counting! Several more counties are scheduled to hold similar votes in the near future, which means that all told, we're talking half of Oregon's counties, half, are preparing to secede from their state and join up with deep red Idaho. Commentators have noted that if the secession were actually implemented, that would mean that 3/4 of the landmass of the state of Oregon would be emancipated from the imploding city of Portland, which in turn would make Idaho the third largest state in the union in terms of landmass. Now, we've talked about this before, but the logic that's animating the secession is rather simple. Back in November, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek won re-election by nearly 4 points, beating out the Republican Christine Drazan. Now, you would think, okay, that's a pretty close race. 4 points, that's respectable. But take a look at the Oregon governor election results map. It's virtually all red. This Democrat, Tina Kotek, won re-election despite having lost 29 of Oregon's 36 counties. The Republican candidate lost even though she won over 80% of counties, 8 in 10, and she still lost. More than half of those red counties in Oregon, nearly 20 in all, voted against the Democrat by a margin of nearly 40 to 50 points. In fact, the Democrats' 68,000 vote margin of victory came almost exclusively from the 200,000 vote margin that came from one county alone, Multnomah County, which of course contains the imploding failed city of Portland. Here's another way of putting it. If Multnomah County were excluded, the Republican would have won the governorship by 10 points. So what all of this means is over 80% of the regions in Oregon are experiencing intense political disenfranchisement, and they're being ruled by politicians and policies they want nothing to do with. They're sick and tired of living under the woke political despotism imposed upon them by a single county. It's like forcing Texans to live under a San Francisco regime with no possible recourse to voting them out. It's a de facto dictatorship. In this case, 51% democracy means 49% tyranny. And again, we're talking over 80% of Oregon counties having to live under a failed woke regime they want nothing to do with. And so more and more counties are rebelling. And it's working. Left-wing liberals are starting to panic over this. Wait until you see what they're saying. You're going to absolutely love it. But first, gang, are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to learn the secret, get this, of paying off your home in 5 to 7 years on your current income? What if we told you we're about to expose the banking secrets the wealthy take advantage of each and every day? Does this pique your interest? Well, if so, then you need to watch this video with Michael Lush, founder and CEO of Replace Your University. He's about to reveal the bulletproof financial blueprint that will change your life forever. But beware, this is not your typical financial advice. It's a daring, unconventional approach that challenges everything you thought about money. Are you ready to take the leap and embrace the unknown? Click that link below to join the revolution and discover the truth that'll set you free. But be warned, once you see the light, there's no going back. Click on that link below right now. The legacy media in Oregon is starting to panic. They're beginning to realize that the secession movement has some serious legs, and with many more counties planning on voting to leave, they recognize this could indeed absolutely fracture their state. And so there's now calls by members of the media for urban Oregon to start taking seriously their growing and increasingly leaving rural population. Some of the proposals involve bringing back a rural policy office so as to ensure that rural concerns are fully included in political decision making. And, you know, once upon a time, Oregon had one. They had an Office of Rural Policy and Rural Advisory Committee, but it was gutted by the Democrats in power. I mean, after all, who needs a bunch of insurrectionist MAGA hicks advising them on how to rule? And I've got to say, reading these rather desperate proposals to try to keep Oregon together, it further underscores how far Blue America has fallen behind Red America. Blue America implodes while Red America thrives and grows in population and economic enrichment. The 20th century favored the states of Blue America, whereas the 21st century is solidly in favor of the states that comprise Red America. And deep red counties inside blue states simply just, they don't want to have anything to do with the depleting and imploding politics. And so red states are beginning to take a movement like this very seriously. The Idaho legislature just voted in favor of a bill that would move the Oregon and Idaho border westward to indeed create a greater Idaho. The bill authorizes Idaho legislators to present a proposal to Oregon politicians about relocating the border to the Cascade Mountain Range, which would end up incorporating over 60% of Oregon's landmass into Idaho. So the Idaho legislature looks like they're ready to do this. And there's even a bill that was just introduced in the Oregon Senate that would indeed begin talks with the Idaho legislature on adjusting the border, recognizing that the difference between urban and ex-urban Oregon is simply irreconcilable. So obviously we'll be keeping a very close eye on how things develop here. But with the latest referendum passing, one thing is clear. The greater Idaho movement keeps getting greater. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And you will definitely want to check out my latest video on woke leftists having an absolute meltdown after an actress roasts them in a hilarious video. This is going to make your day, especially you Ron Swanson fans. You're going to love this. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless. Hey gang, if you want to connect with more courageous patriots and start taking action and organizing, be sure to join my Telegram group. I post the latest breaking news I find interesting and chat with my favorite patriots around the country and even the world. Click the link in the description below and join the conversation today.